Hello friends, I'm back with another video. Oh boy. So I guess it's time to actually address the elephant in the room. No, not that elephant. The hell is that sound? Wait, what? Wait, not that elephant. No, wait. Well, that was unexpected. Anyways, moving along now. For the actual elephant in the room, it's my Warlord Titan. Figured I'd get this video out of the way right now. So do you too want a Warlord Titan or any other Titan for that matter? Well, I hope you have a few wallets to burn and or a popular Warhammer YouTuber, because Titans are expensive. Because buying a Titan out of the blue will piss off your significant other if you say you have a surprise for them, and it's not that cute puppy they wanted. So you should definitely get that puppy so they're not that angry. Now of course, if you watched my last video, you should totally go watch it. Please? I worked very hard on it. If you did watch my last video, you should know that Forge World isn't... Stupid Forge World always setting my wallet on fire. I'm gonna get a new one. I don't know how many wallets I've gone through now. All better now. Anyways, it's exclusively made of resin, which isn't plastic, so it's a whole nother hobbying experience. To build mine using my last brain cell, I watched YouTube guides and the Titan Owners Club blog guide. So the first thing you should do if you decide to get a Titan and or other large Forge World kit is that you're gonna need some hobby essentials. First up, safety equipment. Why? Because resin is toxic like the new codex of the month. So make sure you wear a mask. I mean, we all have a lot of them laying around because, you know. You should also have some safety goggles or glasses, because the last thing you want is a clipped piece of resin flying at Mach 10 right into your eyes. Or else that Titan won't be the only thing burning a hole in your wallet. Now for the hobby essentials you're gonna need. Some of the casting gates on these pieces are very... So buy a hobby saw, and don't forget your safety equipment. Now of course, you're also gonna need your trusty hobby knife, but you're gonna need a lot of blades, and I mean a lot. Because resin trashes blades like how a virus can trash the world economy. Anyways, moving along. Also, sharp blades. Next, you're gonna need some screw cutters, but not your nice ones. Some cheap ones from Amazon will do just fine. Let's not forget you might need to buy some power tools, because that dinky little pin vise ain't gonna cut it, since resin will break the bits like how that Titan broke the bank. Got clamps? Because it's really important for this next part, and that is glue, because it's what's gonna hold the Titan together stronger than your relationships. Some great glue to have is JB Weld and JB Quick Weld. JB Weld for the important structural parts like the legs and body, while JB Quick can be used on the weapons. While the epoxy is drying, clamp the parts down to hold them in place. You should also get a leveler so your Titan isn't lopsided. Don't make that mistake. Super glue can be used, but it should only be used for very small parts and mounting the armor panels. You can also use it on the Titan's head and some small parts on the weapons. Up next, you're gonna need some brass rods to pin the ever-living shit out of your new used car, Titan. Because if the glue fails, the pin should save it from crashing down like your love life. So make sure you pin it correctly using this handy dandy guide. Place the pins here, 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 here.
1 hour later.
And here. Now that you pinned it, it's the miscellaneous things that will make it look pretty. Find red sandpaper and or sticks for more airborne cancer. Then the gap filler of your choice, like putty or green stuff, because you're gonna need to fill some serious gaps. I do have some Tamiya gap filling putty, but for some reason it disappeared in Narnia. And most importantly, magnets. A metric ton. So you finally bought your Titan. First thing you should do is an inventory check to make sure you have all the parts and nothing is miscast. If there are some miscast or missing parts, just contact Forge World and they will send you replacement parts. Now the resin has to be washed, so get some really big tubs or containers to wash your Titan because there are a lot of parts. For the smaller parts, I suggest using old Tupperware containers because there are a lot of small parts. To wash it, use some resin-safe soap like Dawn dish soap to remove any of the hell grease you gotta scrub off. Speaking of scrubbing, use a soft bristle brush like a toothbrush for the small parts, and for the large parts, a large floor scrubber. So get washing.
1 eternity later.
Once you're done scrubbing, let it soak for a full day to get rid of any of the hell grease you might have missed. And once that is done, rinse the parts and scrub them again for good measure.
2,000 years later.
Now that it's all squeaky clean, do another inventory check to make sure you didn't lose anything. Okay, time to start building. Remove all those nasty large casting gates with your razor saw and get it flush with the surface using your hobby blade, just to make sure not to cut your... Now that those parts are all free and you cleaned up the casting gate connections, you may notice there are some raised mold lines. No problem, just use your knife again to remove the mold. mold lines and sand them flush. And remember to wear your face hole covering. Now before you can even think about gluing any parts together, dry fit and score every connection because resin can be warped. If it's warped, just run it under some very hot water or use a heat gun on low heat to carefully bend it back to the correct position. Seriously, make sure everything lines up correctly or you won't get a second chance. Now that that's all done, take your glue and clamps and start building, and remember, dry fit it before you glue. Epoxy drying times may vary if you use JB Weld or JB Quick, so be patient. Next, drill some pinholes. The pins can be secured with JB Quick or super glue. Now that it's been pinned, it's time for some gap filling. You can use the gap filler of your choice, and here are the locations I had to use gap filler on my Titan. The most troublesome area was the large top vents. I had to cut some of the tabs off that seat onto the top of the Titan so I could reduce the number of large gaps, which I then filled with green stuff and sanded. Now let's not forget about the magnets. You're gonna need a lot of them if you want to eventually burn your bank account to the ground for all the loadout options. Here are all the magnets that I used, and of course this is what the power drill is for. Congratulations, you built your Titan. Now for the most important step. Wait, I still haven't gotten to that part yet. But unless you're a follower of Slanesh or a masochist, buy an airbrush. This is not something you want to paint only using a brush. You can, but seriously, this thing is huge. Since you don't want to spend 40,000 years painting trim, I suggest you buy some liquid mask once you've painted all the armor panels. This will protect your beautiful paint job below and make painting that 2,000 points worth of Imperial Knights trim a whole lot less painful. Now remember, this is your Titan, so choose your paint scheme wisely. For practice, I suggest buying the Oedipus Titanicus counterpart of whichever Titan you buy. Congratulations on your model newborn child. Just figure out where the hell you're going to display it and how the hell you're going to transport it to the game store once a year. And just for fun, I figured I should do a size comparison. And I think that about wraps it all up. If you wanted a more in-depth guide, check out the Titan Owners Club blog page. I have also recently started streaming on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch to see me struggle to keep the miniature in frame. Link is on screen and in the description below. I have also stopped neglecting my Twitter and Instagram account. You can also find the links to those in the description below. If you've made it to the end and I've convinced you to buy a Titan, I'm sorry. If you enjoyed this video, I have more like it in the pipeline, so you should consider subscribing. You can also hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post a video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll tune in next time.